Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. So, word on the street is that NaLyssa Smith is confused as to why Indiana Fever fans don't want her on their team. And it's really not that hard to understand, NaLyssa. Let me tell you why. We don't even need to take into account any of your social media outbursts. We don't need to take into account any of your subtweets. We don't need to take into account any of your drama chasing antics off the court. We don't need to take into account your passive aggressive ways. You're removing the Indiana Fever one day in your bio, adding them in the next day in your bio, tweeting other people's tweets. We don't even need to take into account all the unnecessary drama and garbage that you add to this team when it comes off the court. All we really need to do is sit back and watch you on the court. It's really not that hard of a concept to grasp. You think spin, move, brick, spin, move, brick, spin, move, brick, get to the layup line, brick, brick, brick. You think that's something that I just made up overnight? No, that is a thing because when you got the ball on offense, you seemed more concerned with your patented spin, move, brick than you were concerned about maybe swinging the ball to a better playmaker, maybe swinging the ball to a shooter, maybe taking your time and not rushing your offense. You seemed too concerned about getting your own points than you were about actually making the teammate better. You were more concerned about your own stats than you were about the team's stats. You would rather have the team lose by 20 if it meant NaLyssa Smith scored 20 points than the team win by 15 if it meant NaLyssa Smith scored 5 points. And it was very clear watching the swing of the games when our offense is playing and our offense is executing at a fairly high level. It always seems like when the ball hit your hands, that high level offense always stopped. When the ball hit your hands, that high level offense failed to exist because the motion of the offense, the actual swing of the offense, the actual rhythm of the offense would get killed every single time because you were more concerned about your own stats. You were more concerned about, oh, look what I could do, Christy, spin, move, brick, spin, move, brick, spin, move, brick, brick, brick. And then after your patented spin, move, bricks, when we look at the rebound department, you can't grab a rebound on your first attempt. You jump up for the ball in a extremely uncoordinated fashion and you land on your butt more times than you land on your feet. When you get the rebound and nobody's around you in your hands, it always seems to bounce off your soft hands. It never seems to just be, give me that and let's go. It's always, let me tap it 3 times in the air and then I'll grab the rebound when the ball doesn't have as much juice on it. Folks, we don't need to make this more complicated than it needs to be. Fever fans are tired of the drama that you bring off the court, but make no mistake, on the court, it's not hard to see that you don't belong. Speaking of don't belong, I don't want to look at my Indiana Fever starting 5 and have to suspend my belief in anybody's skill, fooling myself to think that you're a better player than you actually are. I don't need to grade Caitlin Clark on a WNBA curve for me to say, yeah, that girl's got skill. I don't need to grade Kelsey Mitchell on a WNBA curve to say, yeah, that girl's got skill. I don't need to grade too much Aaliyah Boston on the WNBA curve and say, yeah, that girl's got skill. The only people saying that you have skill are people that are using the WNBA grading curve. It is what it is. Could you have a 3-minute stretch where you're a good-ish player? Yeah, you can have a 3-minute stretch. Have you had those this past season? Yes, you've had those this past season. Does that negate all of the other minutes that you play that are a complete net negative to the team? No, not at all. NaLyssa Smith's total plus minus. These are players playing at minimum 15 minutes per game. She is 152nd in the league. She is a net negative of minus 191 points. When you're on the court, the Indiana Fever are getting outscored by 191 points. It's not hard to see. It's not hard to understand why that's the trend. It's not hard to understand why people wanted Temi Fagbenley in the starting lineup ahead of you all season. It's not hard to see why people wanted Damaris Dantas in the starting lineup ahead of you all season. It's no surprise that people came down very hard on Christy Sides when she waits till literally the last possible game to play her best 5 players, because we've all seen that this entire season. You had a good first 8-10 games of the season. Guess what? That was the worst this team looked all year long. The best stretch of basketball you played was the worst this team looked all year long. When people were thinking to themselves, maybe she is a viable option, I was, myself included, I gave you credit that first few weeks of the season. Then as things start picking up, as real attitudes start getting displayed, you have a winning attitude, you have a losing attitude, you have a team attitude, you have a selfish attitude. And I'm starting to see certain lack of effort coming from you, NaLyssa, when you're not getting the paint touches that you think you deserve. I'm watching you refuse to go for rebounds. I'm watching you refuse to hustle and get down on the ground. Numerous times this season, we see a loose ball play involving NaLyssa Smith. No types of hustle, no types of extreme effort, no types of want to. We see a loose ball with Lexi Hull in there. Lexi Hull is on the ground in an instant. Before you even turn around, you're like, damn, Lexi Hull on the ground again, fighting for another loose ball. We can compare those two players and say one player rushes the offensive boards, one player doesn't rush the offensive boards. One player fights through screens, another player allows the screen. Lexi Hull got cooked, if you want to say, by Napheesa Collier. You got cooked by Angel Reese. You see the difference? You see the difference? Defensively, this team was way better than you when we had Temi and Lexi than when we had NaLyssa and anybody. Even the mid-range game, it's like we didn't improve at all this season. I gotta call it a spade. I didn't look at your game and say, she actually improved in that area. Oh, she's been working on that. I mean, when we look at your free throws, you shot 56% from the free throw line. Again, a team with Caitlin Clark on it, you're going to have a lot of opportunities underneath the rim. And then you miss free throws, you come back on Twitter and you laugh at the fans. And you're confused as to why people don't want you on this team? Besides the fact that you are a drama magnet off the court, on the court, you can't make a free throw. On the court, you can't even make a free throw. How are we going to have you in during crunch time if you can't even make a free throw? Free throw, they're supposed to be free points, free throws. I need somebody to let me know how that's a thing. When we look at our net ratings, other than Victoria Saxton, worst net rating on the team. When it comes to defensive rating, worst defensive rating on the team. So we don't even need to look into your off-the-court antics. Simply by how you perform on the court, you're just not good enough. And I'm not sure what kind of value you have because your true colors were shown all season long. You're hot, you're cold, you're yes, you're no, you're in, you're out, you're up, you're down. Yeah, I stole that from Katy Perry. Do something about it. When it comes to your on-the-court play, you're just not good enough. Then we'll take Kaylin and Aaliyah and Kelsey all out of the game, have you in the game all by yourself. Then your head really gets big and you really think that the show runs around you. And then we get into even more of a deficit. The Indiana Fever with NaLyssa Smith on the bench, plus 84, 82.6% free throws, 39.2% three-point, 58.8% true shooting percentage, 98.7 defensive rating, 6.7 net rating, 52.7 impact rating. The team is significantly better with you off the court. You're saying your issue was with Christy Sides. Let's be honest here, folks. Christy Sides gave you every chance imaginable to show anybody that you had something. She was trying to let you build your value throughout the whole entire season. All right, let's see if she can fight through this and build her value. Let's see if she can fight through this and come out better on the other end. And you just never did. You just never did. So exactly why are we confused? Why Fever fans don't want you on the team? I don't understand that. Or this is the WNBA where every year prior to this year, what you did would have been good enough. But now that you have real fans watching this team, real eyeballs watching this league, people that know ball, and they're looking at you like, that doesn't belong. Yeah, the other four are good, but that one right there, something about her is off. Folks, she's playing defense. She doesn't even shuffle her feet on defense. She would just rather run side by side with you and then shoulder you as you're going. I don't understand. It makes no sense to me. How long have we been playing the game? Defensive slide, defensive slide. See, Chrissy Sides can defensive slide. We saw that all year on the sidelines. Making layups. I mean, folks, easy like, I don't understand what we are even talking about here. I don't get how this is even a question here, folks. I got to be honest. Kelly Kroskoff, you know the deal. You know the deal. All the fans have been made happy. We got Kelly, we got Amber, we got a new coach. Everybody knows that we are taking measures to get to a better place. There is only one player left that needs to get taken care of. She needs to go. I don't even care if we trade her. I don't care if we release her. I don't care if we don't core her and we let the Valkyrie pick her up. It means nada to me. Would I rather trade her? Maybe we could get some value? Yes, but what cost? Does that come at a cost of coring a different player? If that's the cost, then I would rather not. Then I would rather core that other player. If it comes at the cost of coring NaLyssa Smith to let another player potentially go to another team, I'm not for it. Let her walk at that point. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's the Ben Daniel Podcast. Folks, I didn't bring up any of the tweets. I didn't bring up Dejanay Carrington. I didn't bring up their Instagram stories. I brought up none of that. Strictly from a basketball perspective, she does not fit. We want floor spacers, not floor taker-uppers. We want floor spacers, not space fillers. I don't know what else to tell you. We want somebody that when they get the shot on the three-point line, they shoot it. They don't feel the need to take 6 dribbles, spin, move, brick, spin, move, brick, spin, move, get to the line, brick, brick. Let me know who you think we should get in replace of NaLyssa Smith. I know we're all high on Satu Sabali, but what about those Connecticut's? What about Connecticut Sun? What about Dewana Bonner? What about Isabel Harrison from the Chicago Sky? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It's the Ben Daniel Podcast. I appreciate all of the support. As always, take it easy.